Well, howdy. Welcome here to the Double M farm. Obviously, you can see I'm working on the pond. Whoops, if I don't drop the camera in the pond. As you can see, it's moving along rather well. I just ran into a stump right there. Can't even see it, but obviously I'm sure you could see how I was hitting it with the bucket. Now I've got to figure out how I'm going to dig around that. I've already dug out a couple of big stumps that caused me a little bit of trouble, but it's nothing the Harbor Freight trencher can't handle. The problem with this particular stump is, as you can see from where the trencher is sitting, that is my access point. You can see my path where the mini truck's parked there, down to there, and that is my access point to get in. So I don't want to dig much further than where I've dug, because I want to be able to get in there, because I got to move that big pile of dirt on further back next to that big stump back there to get it out of my way so I can dig my next path there. Just keep working this pond that way. So if I dig much further that way, I won't be able to get through there. So I'm going to have to figure out, have to do a little studying there and see how I'm going to attack that stump that I've just discovered. Didn't know that stump was there. We've got the pond about 5 foot deep right here currently. And of course, when we are through and dam it up, the water will be all the way up. So we'll have 6 to 8 foot, well, 8 to 10 foot of water here on this end of the pond. And it will probably get shallower as it goes the other way because of the slope. But if anybody's ever wondered, can you dig a pond with one of these little towable trenchers, there's your answer. Yes, you can. And then some. You just have to take your time. The biggest thing is where do you put the dirt? Because, you know, obviously a towable trencher will not pivot like a track hoe will, a mini track hoe, whatever you want to use. You can pivot those, so if I was digging with that, I could pivot it all the way around, throw the dirt way back over there. That won't pivot. That's why you see I was digging sideways, digging from the boom this way, and that leads me from the boom that way to a place to throw the dirt. The original plans were to put the little mini truck in here and load it. It's a dump body. Load it and haul the dirt off. But I have so much water oozing up out of the ground, as if you've seen the other videos, you've seen this. I have so many springs in here and so much water that every time I've brought the mini truck in here, he's okay coming in, but then when I load him, he sinks because it's so boggy. So what I'm having to do is dig and get this big pile of dirt built up. Then I put the trencher where it is and just dig some more. I did find out that if I wait and let it dry out, I can bring my small tractor in here, the little 1210, and use the scoop pan and scoop dirt and just move it over and dump it. And that's a pretty fast way to do it because I don't have to keep repositioning the trencher, but I have to let it sit and dry. So it becomes a matter of, do you want to wait a few days for it to dry out so that you can move it quickly with the scoop pan and tractor, or do you want to just continue going like you are and just move it? See, right now where I've got the backhoe, I can just crawl it up there a little ways, grab that dirt, throw it over there. But again, as you see from what I was talking about, if I dig much further this way, I'm not going to have enough room here to be able to get to it. What I may do, I'm planning on doing in the future anyhow, is I may go right there with the chainsaw and clean that up to where I can go around these trees here. I wanted to leave these trees right at the bank of the pond, but this smaller stuff I may clean out to where I can go around that way to get to the other side of this pile of dirt and move it over that way. And if I do that, that'll keep the tractor on high ground. I could possibly do that. I could even do that and get Dumpy in over there and load him, because it's pretty high and dry up there. So I'll have to try that and see. I know slopes don't show up on camera, but this is a pretty big slope here. And you can see I've got Dumpy sitting up there. I can bring him right up to where the trencher is sitting, but that's as far as I can bring him, because then I get into this stuff. And this looks dry right now because it is soil that I have dug out of the pond and thrown here. But right underneath it is just soggy ground. And the longer it sits, it just oozes up. So that's why I have to let it dry a little bit and then move it quickly with the tractor. And if I go down very far, then the tractor even starts sinking because of all the springs that are just bubbling up out of the ground. I even dug up one stump, just like the one I've just hit here. I dug up one right there, a real big one. And when I dug into that stump and started pulling it up, water started gushing up out of the ground from around that stump. First, I was worried that I may open a cavity and the water would go down and travel underground, but it didn't. It was coming up. There is so much pressure on this spring that the water is just bubbling up out of the ground all over the place. So the good part is I won't ever have to worry about keeping water in the pond. I'll always have water as long as I've got a nice dam and spillway to hold it back and fill it up. I don't have to worry about what kind of soil I've got and will it hold water, because this will not be runoff water. This is a spring-fed pond by all means. And again, I don't know if you could tell on camera, but don't question the strength of these towable trenchers. They may not be fast, but boy, these things will pick up some heavy weight. You can see the kind of stuff. I don't want to put my hand in it. Look at that. The kind of stuff I'm digging here. And it's full of rock and roots, and it's just digging it like crazy. So now I've got to decide how I want to attack this stump here. I may just have to leave it. I may have to stop right there and just leave it there so that I can finish all of this and then come back and attack that stump later when I'm not so worried about access here. But anyhow, just wanted to give an update. I've had an awful lot of people contact me about this project and been very interested in seeing how the Harbor Freight trencher performs, or any towable trencher performs digging a pond. And slowly but surely, if you haven't seen the other videos, I invite you to go back and watch them to get up to this point. But everything pretty much that you see on camera right there, from way over there all the way to over here, these pine trees, and all the way to that thicket, all that's going to be dug out. And that'll be phase 1. And then phase 2, I'll be chainsawing and cleaning all of that up and doing another section about this same size. And then I'll be doing a third section. And when we're through, we'll have about a 1/2 to 3/4 acre pond. May take me 20 years, or if I die at my age, my son will finish it. So that's where we are. So I appreciate you joining us here on the Double M Farm for this pond update. And we'll see you again real soon.